Valerie Ballard Hayes.
Has joined. Has joined.
Bill Drinkwater. Hit the pound sign, man.
Has joined.
So they're just not on there yet.
Right, so.
Bonnie Barnhardy.
Has joined.
Sherry Proctor.
Has joined.
John Woodall, Unit 1502.
Has joined.
Vaughn.
Has joined.
Yeah.
Jessica Bucci.
Has joined.
Brian Pasco, Unit 2005.
Has joined.
You put it in the slides and all of that. I took a blow dryer and I blew the end of it. I don't know that works. Yes.
Skip Johnson, 302.
Has joined.
Have you heard Bill Drinkwater?
Anita Piner.
Man,
Has
you heard
joined.
Bill Drinkwater say?
I haven't. But when you after you
I have. Bill's on there.
Hey Lee, this is Jerry.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever's in their car, can they mute their phone? Please? Thank you.
Yes.
I'm here, Lee.
Star 6.
It's Valerie. I'm here. And I heard Bill Drinkwater on too.
Thank you. might need a new green thing, what y'all think, since it's sort of blue.
Hi. Good. How are you? Hi, Jen. Nice to meet you. I'm Cliff. Oh, that's your husband? Oh, man. What a hoot. Very nice to meet you.
Has joined. Has joined.
You are good to go. You are good to go if you want to call the meeting to order. It is 4.
This meeting is a meeting of the Board of Directors. I will chair the meeting today in Bill Drinkwater's absence, and Jerry DeBears will be the Sergeant of Arms. First, we will establish if a quorum is present. Will the Sergeant of Arms call the names of the directors to establish a quorum, please?
Has joined.
If you're on the
Has
road,
joined.
could you mute your phone, please? You hear a lot of background noise from people on the road.
Lower Stefanoff, 603.
Has joined.
Gary, can you check to see if we have a quorum, please?
Has joined.
Yes.
I'll tell you what,
to
this
hear
is
over the phone.
Valerie.
Can y'all mute your phone, please?
Yeah, this is Valerie.
Has joined.
You cannot hear, at least we can barely hear
Lightning
you
is
because
1201.
Has
someone's
joined.
traveling and needs to mute their phone, and we can't hear Lee
Rod
Thorne.
Bussinger.
All right.
Has joined.
All right. Please answer present when your name is called.
Haney,
Mr.
1701.
Drinkwater? Mr. Drinkwater.
Has joined.
Miss Hayes.
I'm Valerie Ballard Hayes. I'm here.
Wojciech.
Here.
Ms. Norton.
Has
Here.
joined.
Jerry DeBass, I'm here. Madam Chairman, we have 4 directors present, thus a quorum is established.
This is Bill. I'm here.
Okay. We have 5 directors present, thus we have a quorum is established.
The OceanVilla Board of Directors meeting of May 12th, 2022 will come to order at 4 p.m. Central
Has
Standard
joined.
Time. Will the Sergeant of Arms please certify the board meeting was properly noticed?
Today's board meeting was properly noticed with no less than 48 hours written notice posted as required by Florida Statute 718 and the bylaws of OceanVilla Condominium Association Incorporated.
Before we begin,
Bobby
I would
Lairborn.
like to
Has joined.
make a motion that at the end of new business, we add owner's comments. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Lee.
Can you see if all the board members vote?
Debbie Beckwood, I, 1301.
Has joined.
Say that again, Lee.
We're good.
Okay.
Okay, we need to approve the previous minutes. I sent y'all out 2 copies with the corrections that Mr. Wojciech and Ms. Hayes pointed out to me. Can I get approval of the previous minutes?
Okay, Lee, those were from May 12th and
Has
April
joined.
the 7th.
Yes.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I second it. Mr. Drinkwater? Financial report.
All right, that would be me. Hang on one second. Let me get there.
Are we having a motion or what? I thought we were having a motion first.
We've already gotten a second, and so we don't have to vote on it.
Yeah, on the minutes, you do need to take a vote. Just, there's a motion and a second on the minutes. You guys need to go ahead and have it doesn't need to be roll call, but you need to do a vote on the minutes.
Yeah.
Just, all in favor say aye, those opposed say nay. So whoever the chairman is needs to do a vote on the minutes.
According to the new CAM, we don't have to do that. Once you get the second, we're good.
Yeah, well, this is Kevin. The second, just, you have a motion in the second, and then you have to vote on it. So you need to either do a roll
Has
call
joined.
or all.
Okay, all
ayes
in
or nays.
favor, say thank you.
Aye.
All in,
Aye.
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 Is
That's
there
aye.
any opposed?
The minute.
Any opposed?
The financial report, please.
Motion passes. Okay, financial report. As of May 11th, 2022, OceanVilla has $55,659 in community bank operating account. They have $115,737 in the City National operating account. And OceanVilla has received a total of $2,468,864 in the Hurricane Michael Fund. That's it.
Thank you. You want to do the manager report?
Okay.
Okay. Next, we have the manager's report, please.
Hey everybody, my name is Claire Durham. I'm the new association manager for Ocean Villas. I've been here a total of maybe give or take 2 weeks. But for my manager's report, I've been working on organizing daily operations and expectations of the association staff. I've been working closely with the board president and the vice president on the operations of Ocean Villa. I've also been updating bank signature cards, payment platforms, and vendor accounts for the new board members, as well as myself being new, creating a new point of contact for you guys. I have been working with the association staff on playing catch up on any projects that they are working on and that you guys have been working on. The association staff has pressure washed floors 23 through 13 as of today. I know that you guys have been doing a restroom remodel project. The tile guys are completed, but I am going to turn this over to Miss Valerie Hayes for her to give a full update of the restroom remodel.
This is Valerie Ballard Hayes. That is the report that the tile guys, my understanding, were finishing today. I went down there earlier and they stated they would be finished in about 2 hours. And that's been well over 2 hours ago. So I would just assume that they are finished, the tile guys. And the next move would be to get the plumbers in. The plumbers are coming to fixtures back in. And then we'll be up and running and the restrooms will be open down at the pool.
Valerie, this is Jerry Tabaris. I just wanted to add real quick that we did get 3 bids on the bathrooms. We had Kilgore Tile come in at $11,917. We had Wave Renovations come in at $13,000, and we had Rodney Cook come in at $7,455. So by getting 3 bids, we saved the association $4,462.
Thank you, Jerry. Jerry was doing the bids, and this is Valerie Ballard Hayes again. And the way that I got wrapped up into the completion of the bathrooms is by being here and being a board member and not having a CAM and just a board member trying to move forward to get them done and get them open before the big crowds come in. So that's how that went about. Jerry was involved in the bids in the beginning, and I'm on the tail end of the restrooms. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Is there any old business?
Yes, this is Jerry DeBarris. There's the Suncoast contract for repairs to the building that I'd like to discuss.
Has joined.
Okay, go ahead, Jerry.
Okay, I met with Alan and Dave. I think it was probably about 3 weeks ago, and we went up on the top of the roof to take a look at the cracks. We have a crack in a concrete panel that's on the elevator shaft near the roof, and we also have a crack in another concrete panel that's on the stair tower, the east stair tower. And I started, I was able to take a look at
Has
some of the
joined.
repairs that the engineer had recommended. The engineer was Atkins Engineering on this project. That's the one I believe that Chris had chosen to do the engineering. And I started looking at the bid that Suncoast gave us, and I started looking at the sketches, the repair sketches that the engineer Atkins provided. And just to give you a little bit of background on me, I'm a civil structural engineer. I've got 40 years of experience, and I'm retired. But when I saw this detail, this repair detail, it really concerned me. Let me explain to you what the repair detail is first. There's a parapet wall that goes around the perimeter
Has joined.
of the roof, and the parapet wall is made out of concrete blocks or masonry blocks, and the repair detail that Atkins had submitted for us to go out to bids has us putting in reinforcement ties that tie into the shear wall. And the shear wall is the wall that actually has the concrete, precast concrete panels, and that's where the crack is. Now, I looked at their detail, and there's a problem with their detail. Their detail actually shows that they're putting a vertical rebar in the block, and they're putting some ties, some horizontal ties in, and they're trying to tie the parapet wall into the shear wall. And they're only going like 1.5 blocks deep into the parapet wall. And the problem with that is as soon as you attach that parapet wall to the shear wall, and we have another Category 5 hurricane, what's going to happen is the wind will blow will blow the shear wall, and then you will get a crack underneath the membrane of the roof right at the 1.5 blocks away from the shear wall. So the detail that Atkins came up with is not a good detail. It's not going to work. So I made a call to Toby Maxwell, who is the licensed engineer with Atkins, and I discussed this with him and told him that I didn't think this was going to work. And he at first he was didn't want to cooperate with me, but then as we got to talking a little bit further about it, he says, well, the sketch that I gave you guys is just a recommendation. You don't have to follow this sketch. And I said, well, wait a minute, this is a repair detail that's got your engineering seal on it. This is more than just a recommendation. This is exactly what you want the contractor to do. And I said, if we do this, then we're going to get a crack on the parapet wall once we tie the parapet wall to the shear wall. And once we get this crack, you won't see it because it's underneath the roof membrane. Or it may pull it all the way apart, and then you might see it because the membrane may rupture. And he seemed to think, after a while, I think I convinced him that that's what would happen. And, I asked him to put something in writing saying that, that this was only a recommendation, that it was that we could either do this or not do this, And certainly he said that you don't have to do this if you don't want to. And, he said he would not put anything in writing. So to be quite honest with you, I was really disappointed in Atkins Engineering for what what they're trying to pull here. We paid these guys to to make good recommendations and prepare construction sketches, and they prepared the sketch, but this is not what we want to do. Okay. So then I called Suncoast and talked to them, and I said, look, did you have any demolition of this concrete block in your bid? And they said, well, no, we didn't. And I said, well, tell me, how are you going to get these horizontal and vertical rebar inside the concrete block without demolishing the concrete block? And he says, well, I guess you're right. We are going to have to demolish the concrete block. And I said, okay, but it's not in your bid. He says, no, it's not. And I said, well, what I didn't want to happen was you guys to, get mobilized, get up on the roof, and then find out you're going to have to demolish this concrete block, because nowhere on the engineer sketch does it say that this concrete block has to be demolished. And I said, I didn't want you to get up there on the roof and then holler you need an extra because you didn't realize the concrete block had to be demolished. So after talking with Mr. Gordon from Suncoast for a while, he said, to be quite honest with you, I really don't want to do this job. And I said, well, why do you not want to do this job? He says, well, if I have to deal with Chris Arnold, I don't want to do this job. And I said, well, Chris is no longer on the board. So he said, okay. And then what I recommend, I said, so when are you guys, when were you scheduled to come out here? He said, well, Chris was pushing me to come out here as soon as possible. I said, that's not a good idea. If we're going to be doing construction work, we want to pick a time where there's the least number of tourists and least number of people at OceanVilla. I said, normally that's a window between November and March. And he said he would have no problem scheduling the repair on the panels somewhere between November and March. And I said, yeah, but I have to talk to the board and see how they feel about it. Because there's obviously, you don't want somebody out there doing construction in the middle of peak season or right around when peak season starts. So what we decided, or what the plans are, is to get the board to approve deleting this detail. And Suncoast did say they would let us out of our contract, no problem. So, instead of doing this detail to tie the parapet wall to the shear wall, I recommend that we just delete this detail and not do it. That's going to save us about $21,700. And have them just go in and replace the precast concrete panels. There's two of them that they have to replace. And he said, well, if that's what you want to do and the board says that's what they want to do, then give me a call back. We can start somewhere between November and March, and we'll just give you a price to repair the two panels that are cracked and seal them. So with that said, I would like to make a motion to cancel the Suncoast contract and eliminate the work to tie the parapet wall into the shear wall, and to allow Suncoast to rebid and reschedule their work to repair the precast concrete panels on the stair tower and elevator shaft between November of 2022 and February of 2023. Do I have a second?
You have a second. This is Valerie Ballard Hayes.
Is there any discussion on this? Any of the board members have any discussion on this?
Yeah, Jerry, this is Bill. Drink water.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, if we don't do the original one, I guess what you were talking about, that would tie in and with Hurricane 5 would ruin it. Are we still going to be safe doing just the panels?
Well, to answer your question, yes and no. It'll repair the panel, but if you get another Category 5 hurricane, there's a chance that you will crack those new panels and you may have to replace them in the future. But again, that's something that the insurance company should pay for, of course, minus our deductible. But really, there is no way to keep that panel from cracking if you get that much wind on it.
So basically, we'd have less damage, or we'd have less repair work, like $21,000, just by putting the two panels in. And Hurricane 5 came, if we did the other, still could ruin it.
Right. Instead of if you made this repair, what you would have is you would possibly have cracks in the precast concrete panels, and you would also have cracks on the roof where the roof membrane goes over the parapet wall. You would have cracks in the parapet wall, so you'd have to cut that out and probably demolish the concrete block under there or the masonry units, and you'd have to go in and replace those. So actually, this repair is going to cause more damage, if you tie this parapet wall into the shear wall. It will actually cause more damage.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other board?
Any other questions? Jerry, can you call for a vote, please?
All right. Okay, let me restate the motion. The motion was to cancel the Suncoast contract, and by the way, they're going to let us out of it, and eliminate the work to tie the parapet wall into the shear wall, and to allow Suncoast to rebid and reschedule their work to repair the precast concrete panels on the stair tower and the elevator shaft between November 2022 to February 2023. Let me call the vote. Okay. Ms. Hayes, how do you vote?
I seconded the motion, and I vote aye. Yes.
Lee Zorn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Bill Drinkwater, how do you vote?
Yes.
Don Rochek, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. The motion passes 5-0.
Is there any other old business? Okay, on to new business. The first new business is the board member recall. I move that we reject all the recall ballots and accept none of the ballots since they all contain electronic signatures. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, Lee. This is Jerry DeBarris.
Do we have any discussion before we vote?
Yes, I have something I'd like to say. And this is something to the membership. You know, you guys really don't know me at all, okay? You don't know who I am. You don't know what I stand for, okay? You sit up there on the Facebook and you throw rocks at me, and you tell me how untransparent I am. You tell me what a nasty person I am, okay? And all I care about is OceanVilla. I have 2 condos at OceanVilla. You know, I've got 4 children. One's a doctor, one's a lawyer, one's an engineering technician, and the other one is a financial business analyst. I've saved you guys $40,000 on Atkins Engineering, who's overcharged you by much more than $40,000. I just saved you $21,700 for Suncoast, for a total of $61,700. I got bathroom bids from Kilgore Tile, Wave Renovation, and Rodney Cook, and I saved you $4,462. And you guys want to recall me? This job is a thankless job. I'm working hard for you people. Chris Arnold did not give us the records that we needed, and we have our attorney who has requested those records. Still, to this day, I don't believe that Don Wojcik has given me all of the treasurer's information that I need to do a good job for you guys, okay? You don't know me, you don't know what I stand for, but yet you sit there and you throw rocks at me, and now you want to recall me. All I can say is shame on you guys. Shame on all of you. I'm done.
Any other board members?
I'd like to say something.
Okay, Don?
Well, Jerry, if you feel that way, you should quit, because it's a thankless job. So you want to quit? Quit.
No, Don, I care more about OceanVilla
Hey,
than
I
you
got
quit.
the floor here. I got the floor. Let me talk. I let you talk. Let me talk.
Go, Don.
Thank you, Jerry. Very nice of you. Now, this is the third time that the membership has asked you all to leave the board. Not for Jerry, not for Valerie, but definitely for Bill and for Lee. They've asked you many times. This is the third time that we've had over a majority of the membership ask you guys to leave. So please just leave. That's all the majority of the owners want.
That's not
So
true.
please leave. So over 63 is over a majority. So
You finished, Don?
that's what we have. So there you go. I just think you guys should leave. That's
You
my
finished,
comment.
Don?
Thank you. Yeah, go for it, Jerry.
Okay. Let me read a section of Statute 718, 111, Section 12. It reads like this. An outgoing board or committee member must relinquish all official records and property of the association in his or her possession or under his or her control to the incoming board within 5 days after the election. The division shall impose a civil penalty as set forth in Section 718.501, Section 1D6, against an outgoing board member or committee member who willfully and knowingly fails to relinquish such records and property. So Chris has received notice from our attorney. He's got 5 days to relinquish those records. And if he doesn't, then we'll go to court.
Are you finished, Jerry?
Yes, I am.
Has
This
joined.
is Valerie Ballard Hayes. Valerie Ballard Hayes, one of the board members. I was asked to help out on the board, and it is a volunteer position. And I've seen, since I've been here, just like pulling teeth to get the bathrooms done, because the staff doesn't even want to cooperate. They don't even want us on the board, and they think they work for the other board, and they don't work for the board anyway. They work for First Services. I just needed some questions answered in order to wrap this bathroom up. The bathrooms have got to be open. I just see that everyone is working, or not everyone, but I mean, what is wrong with the board? It's a board.
Yes.
And we're working hard to try to do some things and get some things done, and it's the love of OceanVilla. We've got some different backgrounds that we brought on the board, and when the board changes, the board changes. But why does it need to be recalled? We haven't done anything to be recalled. And when it changes, there's a fall coming up, October, the election, and that's a different time. But this is the time, and I've seen a lot about the financials. I was trying to work hard to cut down some of the unnecessary spending. I've gone to 4 other buildings on the beach that are comparable to see maybe what the norm is of what some of our waste is in spending. And I'm talking about thousands and thousands of spending waste. And we're trying to cut some of that, try to keep some of the dues from going up. It's not go up too much. You know, there has been an increase in cost in a lot of things up and down the beach, but there's also a lot of unnecessary wasteful spending, and we're working on that. That's one of the things we're working on. Why can't everyone just get along? We're on the board until the fall, and I don't understand why people just can't get along. And just respect that the board is here, and we are trying to do good for OceanVilla. We are. That is what we are trying to do. And it's not an easy task. It's hard work. It's a lot of work, and we're volunteers, and we care. Thank you.
Any other board members? Mr. DeBarris, will you do the vote for me, please?
Sure. Okay. The motion was to reject all recall ballots and accept none of the ballots due to them all containing electronic signatures, and I second the vote, so let me call for the vote. Lee Zorn, how do you vote?
Yes.
Valerie Hayes, how do you
Chairman,
vote?
2106.
Has joined.
Yes, to reject the recall.
Rebecca Keeney.
Bill Drinkwater, how do you
Has
vote?
joined.
Yes.
Don Wojcik, how do you vote?
No.
And Jerry DeBarris, I vote yes. So the motion passes 4-1. The motion passes, and that's to reject all the recall ballots and accept none of the ballots due to them containing electronic signatures.
Woohoo!
Wonderful. Mr. Obo, are you on the phone? Do you want to have any comments, please?
I am on the call, and no, I mean, this is like we went through last month, actually, and yeah, I've not seen any change in the law. There is, we did get, I was properly served on May 5th with 68 recall ballots, all of which were electronic. And obviously today is the 5th business day, and so we're having a proper board meeting within the time provided by statute where you're, as a board, are supposed to look at the facial validity and either accept or reject. And obviously we've just heard a motion passed to reject them due to them being electronic. And as I've mentioned, for those who were on the call last month, there are at least 3 DBPR arbitration decisions: Shores of Panama, Palms of Destin, and Quadremain Condominium, which all consistently stated, and those were 2014, 2015, and 2019, that electronic signatures are not to be accepted. And those are all my comments.
Thank you. Okay, on to welcoming the new manager. We have a new CAM in our building. She has worked for First Service for 3 years. She has a business degree, real estate degree with a concentration in property management. She is a 3rd-generation property manager. She comes with a lot of experience in COA and HOA. We are very glad to welcome Ms. Claire Durham. Would you like to say anything?
Hey, OceanVillas, I'm happy to be here. I'll be on site Monday through Friday. My hours will vary. I am working with the board of directors, so that way that they know what time that I'll be here on site. However, anytime that I'm not on site, you can always send me an email. I check my email over the weekend. If it is an emergency, please, by all means, utilize the customer care phone number that First Service does provide. They'll be able to dispatch me debating on the emergency, as well as an email update of the conversation of your request. But I am happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to the future of OceanVilla.
Okay, I would
Welcome.
like to take a little side note, if you don't mind. I have watched her. She is an Energizer bunny. We are very fortunate to have her here. She is a bundle of energy and a bundle of knowledge, and I do welcome her.
Welcome
Okay,
and
Good luck, Claire.
on to owners' comments. Are there any owners that would wish to make comments at this time?
Yes, Paula, 603.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I first want to welcome the new manager, and I hope with all this experience, I hope you stay and work for us, because we had a lot of changes in management in this building for no good reasons. And I hope with this board of directors, it will be a smooth work for you. And I really, really hope you stay as long as possible. And then I really like to thank Jerry for all the work that he did and his experience. And I have a question for the roof. Do we have to go with this specific business, or when there will be a bidding, we're gonna try to find maybe better solution for us? How do you feel about this? Thank you.
Well, in a way, we had signed a contract with Suncoast, and I feel like we're somewhat obligated to let them do the work. But we could, if we really want to, and we feel like it's necessary, we can go out and get 2 more bids and see who's available to do that work, to see if we can't save some more money. But they're very kind. They're letting us out of the contract. And, the guy said he didn't really want to do the job anyway because of Chris. But, so, it could go either way. It could really go either way.
But you will supervise, hopefully, the job, and you will tell us if what they want to do is going to be solving the problems in the long run, and kind of not to just put a bandage on something, just make the roof properly done, right?
Right. Yeah. I'll make sure that the work is done properly. And, there's just really no way to protect those panels because, they're attached on 4 sides. And when the wind blows, believe it or not, the building probably sways somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 8 inches when you have a Category 5 hurricane up at the top. It may even sway even more than that. And what happens is because it's attached to 4 sides, it has to relieve itself. So what it does is, the connections are stronger than the panel, so it cracks the panel. So, in the future, if we have a Hurricane 5, Category 5, we may still have the same problem, and we may have to make another repair. But at least we won't have to repair the parapet wall, because if we don't tie into it, it won't be damaged. So, I'll make sure that it's done correctly, and I'll watch it.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
This
Any
is
other?
Aldina Schaefer. Yeah, this is Aldina Schaefer with 1003. I just have a question regarding the approval of the meeting minutes. What meeting minutes were approved, and when will they be made available to the owners, or how will they be made available to the owners?
Well, that was May 12th and April the 7th that were approved. And I would imagine, Claire, you can take it from there. You'll probably put it on the website.
Yes, sir.
No, this is May 12th.
Oh, my bad.
You said April 7th also.
Yeah. Are you talking about that other meeting in May, Jerry?
Yeah, probably May 4th. Claire, can you put those meeting minutes on the website for us?
Yes, sir. Any
Are you on the phone, Claire?
minutes will be posted on the association website, but for any closed meeting, executive meetings, those will not be posted on the association website.
Right. Why do we have closed meetings?
The board is able to have closed meetings to have discussions for Florida statute, whether it's delinquents, personnel, or any type of ongoing litigation.
And for those of us who may not have or know how to get access to the association website, is there someone that can provide information on that?
Absolutely. Feel free. You're more than welcome to either shoot me an email or if you have received anything about Connect Resident, your website should be oceanvilla.connectresident.com. However, if this is this still 1003 unit owner?
Yes, it is. Yes, ma'am.
I'll shoot you an email to make sure that you have the correct URL where you can access the owner's website as well as your owner portal.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It's Algina Schaefer.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
Skip Johnson, 302.
Yes, Skip.
First question. It sounds like we've gotten our insurance money, all of it. I was wondering when the people who had their air conditioners destroyed going to receive our checks. Well,
Okay,
this is Jerry DeBarris.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jerry.
I have to put together a budget. I mean, the budget that we have for 2022 is pretty much blown, okay? We're pretty much way over budget. So what I need to do is I need to get together a budget to see how much money we do have. And look at and then once we set those limits on each account as to how much we feel like we need, then we can take a look at the hurricane money and see what we have, okay, what we have left over. Obviously, these panels that are going to be repaired will come out of the hurricane money. But what I'd like to see us do, and again, this is just me because it takes 5 members to be on the board and 5 members to make a decision. But what I'd like to see us do is to have a special assessment for the membership, but then before you do that, turn some of the hurricane money back to the owners. So I'm going to just use this as an example. Say we turn $10,000 back to each owner for them to make whatever repairs they need to make to their unit, and then we do a special assessment of $5,000. So what that does is that gets us away from having to use hurricane money just for hurricane repairs. So if I give you 10 and you give me 5 back, then that 5 that you gave me back can go towards plugging some of the holes in the budget. But the 5 that I give you, or that the board gives you, not me, but the board, you can use that money if you want to buy a new air conditioner. You can buy it. If you want to fix your cracked walls in your condo, you can do that. You can do whatever repairs that you want to make. But I don't feel like, and this is just my personal opinion, I don't feel like we should go in and say, you had a bad air conditioner, I'm going to pay you for that air conditioner. I think we'll give you enough money back for you to pay for your air conditioner and have money left over. And I feel like the money should be distributed equally amongst the members instead of going in and trying to say, well, this guy needs this and this guy needs that, and we just have a real big accounting problem. So that's what I'm thinking. Now, if you don't like that solution, then you can complain to other board members, and, when we get to that point, we will let you know. But right now, we have to come up with a new budget. We have to see what money we have. We have to plug these holes, and then probably closer to the October meeting, we'll probably have an answer for you, a definitive answer as to how much money we feel like we can give back to the owners and how much money we would have to have in a special assessment. That's my thinking. It doesn't have to be.
That's your opinion. That's your opinion. I don't agree with any of it. I think the hurricane money should stay in the building. It should not go back to owners or anything. I'm not interested in that. Mine was one of the units that was destroyed of the 15 that actual day, which I've already had repaired. Now, I'm not looking for, I made a claim on it, but somebody owes me $1,000, and that was part of the insurance claim. So it shouldn't be a problem for writing a check of $1,000 for my deductible. That has nothing to do with the garbage you just said 15 minutes ago. All right? That's it. I don't
All right,
agree with
everybody's
any
entitled to their
shape,
opinion.
form, or matter.
It's something to be discussed by the board.
Can I ask a question? This is Chris Arnold, 2306. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Kevin Obos, has the board understood
Has joined.
that they're not allowed to disperse any hurricane funds without the permission of me, who's in charge of the recall and filing suit?
Have they been advised? No, I mean you're the owner's representative, and they've rejected the recall, so now you have your rights under the statute.
Okay, because Cameron said you and him had a conversation, and you guys said you both understood that, and on top of that they also weren't allowed to hire a hurricane restoration company. So I guess you guys need to talk again?
I'll be happy to talk to him.
Okay. And then, other than that, you guys can proceed with what you're going to proceed with. The lawsuit will be filed within 10 days. And the owners don't want you here, and I'll take care of that for them in short order. It'll happen within 90 days. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Thank you for speaking up for the owners, Chris.
This is Sherry Prosser, 1603. I have a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
The first one is an email that was distributed a couple of weeks ago regarding credit card charges. In the tens, the thousands of dollars each month, at least since August, possibly before. I would like to know, the name on the statements was Don Wojcik, and the billing was through OceanVilla. Is this a credit card that Mr. Wojcik has available to him, and why does he have this available to his person?
I think I can answer that. Don, you go ahead and answer it. Go ahead, Don.
Well, one, thank you. Well, first off, getting that credit card was the suggestion of Resort Collections when we had them as the management. They did not have what's called a P card or a purchase card for the cams. So they thought that would help facilitate some business and to get items ordered off of the web that we need, especially for our barbecues and that.
Maybe you could tell us, Mr. Wojcik, why there are thousands of dollars of barbecue company charges when the two 1 and 2 grills that we have on the premises, one of them doesn't even work. Where has all this thousands of dollars of equipment that has been charged by you gone to?
Well, one, I didn't charge that items, okay?
Who did?
I had to sign because I was the treasurer, and that card was in possession of our cams. So when they ordered items, they ordered them. And that's
so they
what
ordered
the association
Walmart
needed.
charges, and they ordered barbecue equipment in the thousands of dollars that has never been used then? And who's overseeing this? Why does one person
Well, that's why we have a forensic audit to find all this out.
So we are going forward with the forensic audit that they talked about a few meetings ago? That Mr. Arnold did not want to do?
At least I would think that that's well on its way, unless the board has changed its mind.
Is that true, board? Are you moving forward with a forensic audit?
It's ongoing right now.
So we'll probably get to the bottom of this and find out why there's all sorts of items that look like personal usage.
Yes. And we are missing
Well, let me.
a lot of receipts, and I hope we can get to the bottom, but there are a lot of missing receipts.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just ask this. We have statements that were sent via email. Does Mr. Wojcik still have, does one person, Mr. Wojcik or whoever else, have access to a credit card like that for our board, for our case?
No.
I don't understand that. Why isn't all that business run through the First Residential or the building? Why does one person have access to a credit card like that?
Great question.
And when
Thank
you say you have access to it, no, I did not. My name happened to be on it because someone had to sign for it at the association. I was the treasurer. I signed for it, just like I signed my signature at one time, and I don't know if they've been removed or not. I had signing rights on every account that the association ever had.
Well, then as the treasurer,
So,
why wouldn't you question thousands of dollars of barbecue equipment that isn't being used at our facility?
quite frankly, you just don't see this stuff. That's quite frank. You just
signed
don't
for it, you
see
don't
it.
see it, huh?
You don't.
You didn't ever
Chris
see the
Arnold has
statements
the
or the
answer
receipts or
to
anything.
all
You
There
just
are-
signed for it.
questions that anybody
Chris, you're out of order. Chris, you're out of order.
No, let Chris talk. Let Chris talk.
No, are you
No, I'm
finished, Don?
talking. Hey, my name is Sherry Prosser. I'm talking, Mr. Arnold, to Mr. Wojcik. Now go ahead, Mr. Wojcik.
But like I said, I did not see the credit card statement every month. That went directly to the association. I never really saw that.
Has joined.
The only time I ever was involved with the credit card was when First Services back in, I believe it was September, and then again in November, and then again in December, quit paying the bills on time. And then the credit card company would track me down and say, why haven't these people paid the bill for the association?
Well, I think you learned a
And then I
valuable
get
lesson
involved.
by not, for signings for things that you didn't even know what it was. My question then is now to the board, where is this credit card and who is in charge of it? Who has
Let me answer that for you. Let me answer that.
The credit card has been destroyed.
I'm the new treasurer,
The account has
Jerry
been
DeBarris.
closed.
The account has been closed.
And
The
the
account
card
has been
been
closed.
destroyed.
And Don destroyed the credit card instead of giving it back to us. And Don did not have the authorization to close the credit card account, and he didn't have the authorization to destroy it. It should have been given back to OceanVilla.
No, because you could not get my name off of the card. And Jerry, as we've already said in private emails between us,
Don, you shouldn't have had your name on the credit card anyway. It's an OceanVilla credit card. It's not a Don Wojcik credit
that
card.
was the only way that First National Bank of Omaha would open it.
That's
Wrong again. That's a lie.
No, that is the way. No, it is not,
No,
Jerry.
that's a lie.
And you can go get it. You can go get a card if you want, Jerry. Just go get one.
No, the card we're going to get now is a P card, and all the
Right.
charges
And
go
could be
through.
wonderful.
All the charges go through First Services, and I will be looking at those statements. For example, in 2021, did you know that we paid $117 in late fees? Did you know that we paid $810 in interest charges for the credit card? If you're the treasurer, why did you allow this? You're not looking at these statements? Shame on you.
First
With your name.
Services want to, I've asked First Services to pay it back, but everybody.
But you
else
wanted the
is
card in
gone.
your name. You wanted the card in
I
your
never
name.
wanted
So
the
you're,
card in my
yeah,
name.
you can't
I
defer to
never
First
wanted the
Services
card
because
in
you
my
wanted
name.
it.
That is not true, Valerie.
Well, as long as, this is Sherry Prosser again, as long as you're telling us we hope that the credit card is destroyed and we don't have any more charges, outrageous charges like we've seen that were sent to the homeowners, that we've seen these charges since August of 2021. And you guys are doing the forensic audit. I am satisfied with my question. Thank you. The answer to my question. Thank you.
Can I ask a question? This is Valerie Ballard Hayes. Can I?
Go.
All right. Don, since this is credit card in your name, whose membership at the Sam's Club membership fee per year, which is an individual membership fee, plus the charges that I haven't been able to track down at Sam's Club, whose stuff is that? We're paying for someone's membership fee, and it's an individual membership. It is not a corporate membership. And I spent 2 hours at Sam's researching it. I got to the bottom of some stuff, but there's still a lot on it that they can't find. And so whose membership, please, are you paying for?
Chris Arnold has the answer to each and every one of these questions that you guys had from him.
Yep. Go ahead, Chris. Answer.
Whose
membership are we paying for?
I believe you're not paying a membership. I believe David used his membership to buy umbrellas. And the auditor is being refused access to David and Alan, who would be able to answer every single one of these questions. For example, the grills. Those grills are $5,000 a piece. And the reason they always work is because we order parts way in advance. And that's where all those barbecue charges were. And so that's why everybody else's grills don't work. And for all the years that I was in charge, they did. So it wasn't fraudulent charges. It wasn't restaurant bills. It's like the gift
Well, hold on a second. I wasn't asking about the grills. I wasn't asking about the grills at this time. That was someone else. I was asking about the Sam's Club membership, and that is not the charge I'm talking about. I found the umbrellas.
So which charge are you talking about, Val? Good.
Charge. Well, if you look on the credit card statement.
The auditor was allowed to talk to David and Alan and answer all of her questions.
Would you like me to ask the question again? The question is, whose yearly membership? Okay, look, can I ask a question, please? Whose yearly membership are we paying for?
Instead of dancing around it, ask the question.
I did. Whose membership are we paying for?
He did.
I would have to defer to Alan and David, which I'm sure know the answer to that question, but are not
They have already been asked.
To the auditor.
They have already been asked.
Jerry
DeBarris and I sat down
for weeks and has been refused.
Okay, so that's it, Chris. You don't have an answer. You don't have an answer. Okay, so I'm moving on to my next question.
Cut out the silliness, Chris. Cut out the silliness.
We've already talked to David and Alan, and they don't know. Okay, so we're paying for someone's membership. And in addition to a bunch of charges. Now, I found the umbrellas at Sam's. I found all that stuff. So there's a lot I did find. But there's a lot I didn't, thousands of dollars at Sam's that we cannot find anything about. And that it's someone's membership. Someone's membership number.
Let the auditor talk to Alan and David, and you'll find it all.
They don't know.
I think that's a bunch of hooey. This is Sherry Crosser again. I was there in March, and one of the grills did not work. And you're telling me, Mr. Arnold, that these $5,000 grills have to have thousands of dollars in parts prepaid?
Yes,
and the darn thing, one of them didn't work in March. Well, what are these? Are coated in gold?
It doesn't work because I was no longer the board president.
They must be $20,000 grills at this point.
That's not an excuse.
Well, they are. Over the past 6 years, I wouldn't doubt if we spent $20,000 maintaining the grills, somewhere between 10 and 20. That's how much it costs to maintain them.
Well, then what is wrong with you, who used to be on the board, allowing that? Why didn't you tear those things out and put in something that worked?
We have grills that work. You just have to pay to maintain them, which is what we did. But when I was no longer president, that's when things like the grills not working, I'm guessing, became a regular occurrence. That's the difference between me being president and what you have now.
What we have now is a board that sounds like they're going to do something instead of someone who creates a lot of drama for us homeowners.
Hear, hear. I agree.
Well, it all sounds like drama to me. This is Bobby Larimore, 1903. I had a question, Claire. It's good to have you. We look forward to having you. We've got a pretty good maintenance crew here. They've done a pretty good job through the years. The building's been well ran, in my opinion, because I own other units and I've had a lot of drama in other units. In the email that Jay sent out on the 24th, said that Claire would be tutoring Dave Stevens to take over as CAM, and I wanted to see how that was going and what kind of timeline are we looking at for that.
So this is Jessica.
You want to mute your phone, please, with the dog? Thank you.
This is Jessica, and I'm the regional director for First Service. And we are putting a plan into place to develop your maintenance manager that has become a CAM. It takes a process. We don't have a timeline set now, but I am going to be meeting with him next Friday with Claire, and we will have a more defined schedule then.
This is Jerry DeBarris. I want to say something along those lines. First of all, the board hasn't approved Dave being a CAM, but the idea with all the board members that I spoke with about it, they were in favor of it. Now, here recently, we've run into some problems with our employees at OceanVilla. It seems that they are loyal to Chris, and it seems like they're not wanting to do their work. And so if that is the case, or if that continues to be the case, then there is no way I will vote for Dave to be CAM, because what they're doing is they're sitting on their hands over there, and if it wasn't for Claire actually going over there and making sure that they're doing their jobs, then we would have nothing right now. We would have nothing. You know, the place is filthy. It's a mess. Your two fearless leaders who were on the board, who were dictators, left this place in filth. They left your budget in shambles, okay? And, you know, these people, they better do their jobs, and it's up to Claire to make sure that they do their job. It's not my job to make sure, or anybody on the board to make sure that they're doing their jobs. They are employees that answer to Claire and First Service, and she is working with that. But if these employees don't stop what they're doing and slow down, you know, they're just slowing down. They're not doing their work. Now Claire is working them. It appears that now they are doing their work because they have to answer to Claire. But I was very disappointed to find out that all of these employees are loyal to Chris, and that, you know, Chris probably, I believe Chris told them to slow down, don't do your job. Same way with the bathrooms. The bathrooms, the bathrooms were we were supposed to get a plumber in there to set the toilets, and Alan came up with some guy who could only set the toilets on Saturday and Sunday. So that means we would have to pay Alan time and a half to be there so that these toilets could be set. Okay. Well, originally we were supposed to have one bathroom done and the other one open. But Alan allowed both bathrooms to be demolished at the same time, which before we started any of this work, we met with the contractor, I met with Dave, I met with Alan, and we all agreed that only one bathroom was to be demolished at a time and the other one was to be left open. Instead, we were sabotaged, and Alan allowed both bathrooms to be demolished at the same time, which caused the problem of maybe having to close the pool. And then it was my solution to get the porta potty in there, so we wouldn't have to close the pool. So we are fighting against Chris. We are fighting against Don. We are fighting against the employees of OceanVilla who want to do their work. Don and Chris have not turned over records like they should have turned over records, and we're fixing to get in a fight about that. So I'm just letting you know,
Jerry,
this is what's going on at OceanVilla.
Jerry, I turned over every record that I have to you. I don't know what other records you want.
I don't know, Don. You sent me a spreadsheet that was dated 2017. Have you not been doing your job between 2017 and 2022?
Maybe you don't have any records.
No, I don't think he has any records because he just sat there and did nothing.
I gave you all the records that we had, Jerry.
Okay.
I don't know what else you want because you got them all.
Well, then you weren't keeping any records then. So
I gave Jerry a bunch of records.
We hear this guy?
Oh. Well, this is real. This is what we're dealing with. This is Valerie.
And on the other part about Jerry claiming that we destroyed the budget and all of that, Bill and Lee were the ones that blocked, raising dues to make sure that they would take care of the building properly. Bob, Bill, and Lee. They all voted in unison to not allow dues to go up so we would get in a mess of a budget like we have right now. So the only people that should be looking at each other in the mirror are Bill and Lee for the problems with the budget. So don't be blaming.
Don, I'm not going to allow us to go up on people's dues until I understand and find out how much we need to go up. You guys were picking a number out of the sky.
Well, you weren't on the budget meeting, and you wouldn't know that, Jerry.
You were just picking a number out of the sky. You had no clue.
We had it all out.
From the records you turn over to me, you have no clue as to what's going on at OceanVilla.
We don't know what's going on.
So what is the yearly budget to run OceanVilla?
It has to be over $1 million a year right now. And Bill, Lee, and Bob all agreed to keep the budget the same as last year, which was a little over $900,000. So that's why we have at least over $170,000 deficit going into this year.
And you're using a 7-year depreciation on all the equipment?
Who's speaking, please?
This is Bobby Larimore, 1903.
Okay.
Because usually what home HOAs on the beach do is they have a 7-year budget for full depreciation because everything's going to have to be replaced every 7 years.
We have a reserve study. That shows us how much money it's going to cost to do certain projects, replace certain items. And that reserve study that I received from Don was last touched in 2017. So that means I'm going to have to go back and take a look at the budget, take a look at the reserve study, get that up to snuff, and then once that happens, we will know where we sit. But that's probably not going to happen for a couple of months. But just to come in and say arbitrarily we need to go up $100, I'm not going to do that because I don't know that that's a true statement.
We have to knock down some of the spending and see where we're at too, I think. Like, for example,
absolutely,
the $49 pants that we provide to all the staff here and, several pairs of those and whatever it else, the $97 jackets on Amazon, all that different stuff that's just been cut out. The thousands of dollars on the credit cards that you all owners will all see on your credit card statements that were emailed to you of monogramming. That's all been cut out for now. But just to see, I haven't even been over there to see what did we get monogrammed that was that many thousands of dollars, but I will. And I don't need an answer from anybody on that because I'm going to go see for myself. I just haven't had a chance. But I went to 4 buildings. None of them had monogrammed shirts. They all had shirts that said the name of the building on it. And that's it. And that's the comparable buildings that we are. You know, they're just buildings that are like us. They're the same age. They're the same nice and everything. So those are just examples. That's not everything. Those are just some examples of things that we're trying to cut down. See where we're at. We don't know where we're at because there's been so much frivolous spending going on. Like the plumbers that were coming were telling me, Alan tells me it's been submitted as a 16-hour job to put the fixtures back in the bathroom, and that Alan's going to work overtime Saturday and Sunday. I think they just thought I would go away. I mean, it's made it really hard for us to do it, but even if it was, we were still going to do it. We're going to get these bathrooms open. I don't appreciate that Alan wouldn't work with me on it at all. It turns out I ended up getting another plumbing company out that's reputable, and they said that it's a 4-hour job or so, but they were 2 plumbers, and then that other guy that was coming is 1 plumber, but their 2 plumbers is $2.20 an hour for 4 hours or less, and this other guy is $160 an hour for 16 hours with 1 plumber and a helper, which is his wife, and it's a small mom and pop, which screams kickbacks to me. And I just don't know. We don't know where all the kickbacks are. We're not going to point fingers. But just saying that I found it all interesting whenever I asked and inquired about the plumbers and what's that situation and how's that arrangement going. And I found out it was 2 days worth of overtime for Alan to come in on the weekend and a 16-hour plumbing job from a plumber that says, we think the world of Alan. I called them and they're like, we're only doing this for Alan. We think the world of Alan. So, there are more plumbers out there if that's what they want to do. And I said, ma'am, this is not a 16-hour job. So we're just dealing with things like that. And, we're just, it's like one of the board members said, we'll be smarter when we're done, but we're just trying to get through some of the finances to see where we are.
Right. Yeah, this is Bobby 1903. Jerry, are you going to be able to, we're having a pretty crazy inflation right now, and I know it's going to be tough for you to project the future cost of materials, but like my brother-in-law is a builder, and, he's having to put off jobs and things like that because people aren't willing to pay the 40% upcharge for the supplies for those jobs. And I don't see this going away anytime soon. I mean, we don't even have baby formula for babies right now. How do you manage that when you're trying to put all that together?
Yeah, we'll just do the best we can with what we have, but in the past, I talked to Alan, I talked to Dave, and I said, what's the deal with all these charges on the credit card? And they go, well, Chris just told us to go buy what we want to buy. Well, that was Chris. That's not me. That's not the board. That's not Claire. We're gonna buy what we need to buy. But you're right. It's going to be very difficult to try to project it for inflation, but we'll take our best guess. I think right now we're probably at 11% inflation overall. But I will say this, of the 5 weeks that your new board has been on duty for the Homeowners Association, we have saved you guys over $65,000. Over $65,000. And you know what? We're going to save even more. And you want to know why? Because we're going to watch it like a hawk. I'm going to treat this money like it's my money. I'm going to make sure that nobody spends it and we don't spend it on something frivolous. And no, we're not going to have employees going out there and buying whatever they wish. And Claire's going to be in charge of the credit card. She's going to be in charge, and I'm going to be looking over her shoulder. And that's the way we're going to run this ship. We're going to tighten this ship up. Now, if you vote me off in October or you vote these other people off in October, then you're going to go back to what you had before, which is a total disaster.
Yep. That's getting ready to go up on our feet.
Now, just to finish my 1903, Bobby Larimore, next door we lost our entire maintenance staff, and it was a disaster. It took forever. We really never recovered. We ended up, we go from one person to the next person to the next person. People don't want to work these days for some reason. I'd love to find out that answer. But, it got to the point to where the place was just destroyed, right? And it was all turnover of those people. My perception is we've got a good team, and I do want to tell you, Jerry, in conversation with these people, nobody really has anything too disparaging to say about the board, or hey, I follow Chris and I'm not doing this. I've never heard that, and I know you may feel that, and there may be some issue with the recall that confused people, but we got good people, and I hope they work out, and I hope it works out for Dave. He's a good man, and I hope it works out for Claire. I want everybody to win.
Yeah, I want OceanVilla to win.
That's all I've got.
I've got 2 condos over there. I certainly want OceanVilla to win.
Do any other owners have comments?